Assalamu alaikum. This is the third class of vectors. In this class, we're going to learn about the angle between two lines. The formula which we will be using for finding out the angle between two lines is this: cos theta equals to a dot b, or the dot product of a and b, or we also call it the scalar product. Scalar product divided by the magnitude of a and the magnitude of b. Let's start with the first question. Before we start with the first question, we need to understand one more thing, and that is whenever two vectors are parallel, the formula, which is this: cos theta equals to a dot b upon the magnitude of a upon and the magnitude of b. We know that whenever two lines are perpendicular, the angle between them is 90 degrees, and cos of 90 degrees we know is a 0. Okay, that means if this is a 0, this will also be a 0. That means if two lines are perpendicular to each other, the result of the dot product, this is called the dot product, the result of the dot product is 0. Okay, we can say that whenever two vectors are parallel, the dot product is 0. It is also true that whenever this dot product is 0, the two vectors are perpendicular to each other. Let's start with the first question now. Okay, if P is this, Q is this, show that the angle between the two vectors is 45 degrees. Okay, these are the two vectors. We want to find out the angle between them. We use the formula cos of theta equals to a dot b upon the magnitude of a and the magnitude of a upon the magnitude of b. Okay, so cos of theta equals to the dot product. First of all, how do we get to the dot product? The dot product is, for instance, if this is a, b and c, and this is p, q and r, the dot product is the result of multiplying the I component plus the j component plus the k component. So AP plus BQ plus CR in this particular case. Okay, so it's always going to be like this. So now I'm going to get the dot product. How? I'm going to write down the vector in the vector form, 8 minus 6 and 10, and the other one is 4 negative 3, and there's nothing with k here, so I can write 0k. Okay, so the dot product a dot b is going to be 8 times 4 plus minus 6 times minus 3 plus negative 10 times 0, result of which is 32 plus 18 plus 0, which is a 50. Okay, the magnitude of a is square root of 8 square plus negative 6 square plus negative 10 square. Even if you don't put the negative sign, that will not make a difference. Okay, 64 plus 36 plus 100. So it's actually 200, square root of 200. Magnitude of b is 4 square plus negative 3 square plus 0 square, which is going to be 16 plus 9 is 25, square root of 25, which is a 5. Okay, let's put it in the formula. Cos of theta equals to the dot product divided by the magnitude of a and the magnitude of b. Magnitude of a is square root of 200, magnitude of b is square root of 25. Okay, let's solve this. Okay, so I'm getting cos of theta equals to 50 divided by 50 root 2. And then cos inverse of theta is going to be cos inverse of 1 upon root 2. So theta is equals to 45 degrees. This is what we were supposed to prove for this question. Okay, let's move on. Relative to the origin, the position vectors of the points A and B are given by this. This is OA and this is OB. Find angle OBA. Now, whenever you have to find out the angle, you can take the vector BO and BA and find out their dot product. Okay, so BO, if it is OB is this, even if you take OB and AB, that does not make a difference. So whatever you want to do. Okay, if I find out AB is OB minus OA. Okay, So OB is minus 1, 3 and negative 1, and OA is 5, minus 2 and 4. So the answer is going to be minus 1 minus 5 is a 6, minus 6, 3 plus 2 is a 5, minus 1 minus 4 is a minus 5. Okay, so if I take BO here, which is a 1, negative 3 and 1, if OB is this, BO is going to be, change the signs, 1, 3 and 1, negative 3 and 1. And BA, I'm going to take, if this is AB, I can take BA as 6, negative 5 and 6. 6, negative 5 and 5. Okay. This is going to give me the dot product, which is actually 1 times 6 plus 3 times 5, negative 3 times negative 5 plus 1 times 5. Okay, divided by the magnitude of A and the magnitude of B. Okay, the magnitude of A is going to be 1 plus 9 plus 1, and the magnitude of the second vector is 36 plus 25 plus 25 equals to cos of theta. Okay, let's solve this now. 6 plus 15 plus 5, 26 divided by the magnitude of 11, magnitude of 50, 86 equals to cos of theta. Okay. Okay, it's coming out to be cos of theta equals to 0.845. Okay, so theta is going to be cos inverse of the answer, which is 32.29. 32.3. This is the value of theta. Okay, even if I told you that you can even take it as OB and AB. Okay, even if I take OB and AB, in that case OB is minus 1, 3 and minus 1, and AB is minus 6, 5 and negative 5. Okay, so the dot product is going to be 6 plus 15 plus 5, which is the same, 26, divided by the magnitude equals to cos of theta. Magnitude will also be the same. So the answer is exactly going to be the same. So what I will learn here is that if they ask you to find out a particular angle, you can take it to be BO and BA, or you can take it to be OB and AB and find the dot product and apply the formula. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next question. I'm doing the second question here. Verify the vector that the vectors this and this are perpendicular. If the vectors are perpendicular, the dot product is going to be a 0. That is what we have just learned. If the two vectors are perpendicular, the dot scale, you can even call it the scalar product. The scalar product or the dot product is going to be 0. Okay, so let's find out the scalar product here. Minus 9 times 2 plus minus 2 times minus 3 plus 4 times 3. Let's see what is this. Minus 18 plus 6 plus 12. So minus 18 plus 18 is a 0. Since the dot product is 0, the two vectors are parallel to each other. Sorry, perpendicular to each other. Okay, so we're done with this. Let's move on. The angle between the two lines. Okay, this is the vector equation of the line. This is the vector of an equation of another line. We know this is the direction vector and this is the direction vector. To find out the angle between two vectors, we just have to find out the angle between the direction vectors. So that means you have to take this and find the dot product. Okay, so cos of theta equals to, if I take the dot product, 2 times 3 plus negative 1 times 0 plus negative 1 times 1. Okay, divided by the magnitude of the first vector, which is 4 plus 1 plus 1, and the magnitude of the second vector, which is 9 plus 0 plus 1. Cos of theta equals to 6 minus 1 upon magnitude of 6 divided by magnitude of 6 and magnitude of 10. Cos of theta equals to 5 upon root 6 times root 10, which is 7.75. Okay, so I'm finding out cos inverse on theta is equals to cos inverse of this whole thing. Okay, cos inverse of 5 divided by the answer. So theta is going to be 49.79, and we have to get the answer up to one decimal place, so 49.8. Okay, moving on to the next question. Given that the two vectors are perpendicular, find the value of a. If we know that the two values are the vectors are perpendicular, the scalar product is going to be a 0. Okay, so let's find out the scalar product. 6 into a minus 2 into 4, 5 into a minus 2 equals to 0. Even if you want, you can put them as vectors in the vector form. 6, negative 2 and 5, and a 4 and negative 2. Okay, let's solve this. 6a minus 8 minus 10 equals to 0. 6a equals to 10 plus 8 is 18, so a equals to 3. The value of a is a 3. Okay, the position vector a is such that a is this a dot j, and hence find the angle that a makes with the positive y-axis. We know what is I, what is j, and what is k. We've discussed it in the first class of vectors. I is a unit vector in the positive direction of the x-axis. So one unit vector of unit length 1 unit is called I in the positive direction of x-axis. J is a vector of magnitude 1 unit in the positive direction of y-axis. So in this direction, if you take a vector whose length is 1 centimeter, 1 unit, then you call it j, and k is the 1 unit vector in the third dimension. Okay, now if they are saying a dot j, that means they want you to find out the dot product of this vector plus j meaning just this vector. Okay, so we'll take I to be 0, k to be 0, but j to be 1. Okay, let's write down the two vectors. A equals to 4, negative 8 and 1, and the other vector which they're talking is j, which is 0, 1 and 0. We want to find out the dot product of them. So 4 times 0, negative 8 times 1 plus 1 times 0, so it's going to be negative 8. Hence find the angle that a makes with positive y-axis. Okay, so obviously if this is a 1 unit vector in the positive direction of y-axis, you can easily find out the angle between these two vectors, and that will give you the angle between the vector a and the y-axis. Okay, so cos of theta equals to minus 8 upon magnitude of the two. So 4 square is 16 plus 64 plus 1, which is 65. Okay, so it's negative 8 upon 16 plus 64 plus 1, 81. Okay, cos of theta is minus 8 upon 9. And then you find out the angle. If you want, you can just avoid writing negative here and find out cos inverse of 8 upon 9. Whatever the angle is, because cos is negative in the second quadrant, so you have to find out the obtuse angle between the two. So since whenever cos is negative, the value of cos is negative, it's an obtuse angle. It's in the second quadrant, because cos is positive in the first quadrant. Okay, so if you write positive on the calculator, then you have to subtract the answer from 180 to get the obtuse angle. Otherwise, if you write this directly, calculator is going to give you the answer directly. So it's a 152.73. So theta is 152.7 degrees. This is the answer to this question. Moving on to relative to the origin of the position vector of the points P and Q are given by where K is a constant. Find the values of K for which OP and OQ are perpendicular to one another. OP and OQ are perpendicular to one another. If OP and OQ are perpendicular, the dot product is going to be 0. So let's find out the dot product. It's going to be 5K times K plus negative 3 times K plus 2 plus 7K plus 9 times negative 1 equals to 0 if they are perpendicular to each other. So this is 5K square minus 3K minus 6 minus 7K minus 9 equals to 0. Okay, if you solve this, you get 5K square minus 10K minus 15 equals to 0. If I take out 5 as common, I'll be left with K square minus 2K minus 3 equals to 0. 5 divides on that side, it becomes 0. Okay, let's break the middle term. K square minus 3K plus K minus 3 equals to 0. K is common. K minus 3 plus 1. K minus 3 equals to 0. So K plus 1 is the first bracket. K minus 3 is the other bracket. The two answers for K is negative 1 and positive 3. Okay, given that K equals to 2, find the angle between OP and OQ. So if K is 2 in the second part, OP is having a K in that, and K is 2. For the second part, you have to take the value of K as 2. So it's going to be 10, negative 3, and 7 times 2 plus 9. 7 times 2 is 14. 14 plus 9 is 23. Okay, this is OP now without any unknowns. And OQ without any unknowns would be 2, 4, and negative 1. Okay. In order to find out the dot product of this, the angle between them will be cos theta is equals to OP dot OQ divided by the magnitude of OP. I can write the magnitude of OP like this. Magnitude of OP multiplied by the magnitude of OQ. Okay, let's find out the dot product first. Cos of theta is equals to 10 times 2 minus 3 times 4 plus 23 times negative 1 divided by the magnitude of OP, which is 100 plus 9 plus 529. Okay, I'm just squaring all of this and writing it down here. And the square of 2 is 4, square of 4 is 16, and square of 1 is 1. Okay, let's find out the angle quickly. This will become cos of theta equals to 20 minus 12 minus 23 upon, okay, 629 plus 9, 638. Okay, the other one is going to be 16 plus 4 is 20 plus 1 is 21. Okay, let's solve this. Square root of 638 multiplied by square root of 21, which is giving us 115.74. Okay, in the numerator we've got 20 minus 12, which is 8, and 8 minus 23, which is a negative 15. Cos of theta is negative 15 upon this. Okay, so let's find out the angle. Cos inverse of negative 15 upon 115.74. 97.44. So 97.4 degrees is the angle between the two. Okay, let's do this question now. Okay, the diagram shows a cuboid OABCDEG in which OC is 6 centimeters. Okay. OC is 6 centimeters. I'm just writing it down here. OC is 6 units. OD is 3 centimeters. And unit vectors I, J, and K are parallel to OC, OA, and OD respectively. OA is 4 centimeters. Okay. Okay. The point M lies on FB such that FM equals to 1 centimeters. This is 1 centimeters. Now, if this whole thing was 3 centimeters, okay, out of which if this is 1 centimeter, that means this is 2 centimeters. N is the midpoint of OC. Okay, so that means this is 3 and this is 3 units. And P is the center of rectangular face DEFG. Using a scalar product, find angle NPM. You have to find out the angle NPM. So NP and M is here. Okay, that means you have to find out NP and you have to find out angle NPM. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to find out the angle NP, N to P. Okay, NP is going to be, how do you go about, if you start from N and you have to go till P, you will take it to be this. Okay, if I just take it this way, half of this plus go up straight. Okay, so I will have to go 2j because the whole of this is 4j, so half of it is 2j. 2j plus 3k because the whole of this is 3, so 2j plus 3k. Okay, so I'm going to take it to be 0, 2 and 3, or you can say 0i plus 2j plus 3k. Okay, now I have to find out the angle MP. If you have start from M and you go on to P. Okay, you can take it, you can go up 1 unit, which is 1k, then you go halfway through this, that means negative 3i. Okay, so I can write it down here. MP is going to be 1k negative 3i and negative 2j. I can even write it this way. It goes up 1 unit, that means 1k negative 3i and then negative 2j. Okay. Okay. Now I have the two vectors with me. I can easily find out the angle between them. Okay, I'm finding out the dot product. Cos of theta equals to NP into MP divided by the magnitude of NP and the magnitude of MP. Okay. Let's do find out the dot product between them. So if I multiply 0 by a negative 3 plus 2 by a negative 2 and 3 by a 1 divided by the magnitude of the first vector, which is 4 plus 9, and the magnitude of the second vector, which is 9 plus 4 plus 1, it's going to be a minus 4 plus 3 divided by 13 and square root of 14. That means a negative 1 upon square root of 13 times 14. Which is 182, which is equal to 13.49. Okay. Cos of theta equals to negative 0.074. 94.25. 94.3 degrees is the answer to this question. Whenever cos of theta is negative, you will always get an obtuse angle. And you can even observe that this angle is obtuse, it's more than 90 degrees. Okay, moving on to the next question, which is this one. The diagram shows a cube OABCEFG with sides of length 4 units. The unit vector I, J, and K are parallel to OA, OC, and OD. Okay, all the lengths are 4, so this is 4I, this is 4, this is 4, and this is 4. Okay. The point M is the midpoint of GF. Okay, they're saying that this is a midpoint, so it's dividing it into 2 equal parts. AN is to NB is 1 is to 3. Okay, so this is 1 part and this is 3 parts. Find each of the vectors OM and NG. Okay, let's find out OM first. If you have to go from O up till M, you can take this path. Okay, so 4k plus 4j plus 2i. Okay, so I'm writing it down here. OM is equals to, I'm taking this path, going up straight, then going this way, and then going this way. So 4k plus 4j and plus 2i. Okay, so I can write OM as 2, 4 and 4. Okay, then I have to find out NJ. For NJ, I can take the path which is NG. I can go this way, then I can go up, and then I can go backwards like this. You can take any other alternate path also, there's no problem with that. NB is going to be 3J, because this is one part, this is three parts. So if the whole thing is there, then it's 4J. If this is there, it's just J and it's 3J. 3J plus 4K minus 2, 4I. Because in this case, you have to go backwards to minus 4I. Okay, if I write it this way in the form of vector, it will be the I component first, then the J component, and then the K component. Okay, and we've already found out the vectors. Now we have to find out the angle between them. So cos of theta equals to the dot product of them. That means the minus 8 plus 12 plus 16 divided by, I'm just multiplying 2 by minus 4, 4 by 3, and 4 by 16 here, divided by the magnitude of the first vector, which is 4 plus 16 plus 16, and the other one is 16 plus 9 plus 16. Okay, so it's 16 plus 12 minus 8, 20. Okay, divided by 32 plus 4 is 36, and 32 plus 9 is 41. So we can write cos of theta equals to 0.52057 cos inverse of the answer. This is going to give us acute angle. Okay, 58.6. Fine, so we're done with this question as well. Now we have to do this question. Okay, the diagram shows a triangular prism OABCDE, the uniform cross section. This is the cross section of the prism, because if you know, cross section of the prism is a triangle in this case. So this, the base and the top are exactly the same, and the lateral surfaces are rectangular. So this is the cross section. The cross section of the prism OAE is a right angle triangle with base 77 and height 36. Okay, so this is 77, this is 36, which is mentioned here in the diagram. Okay, then it says the length AB of the prism is 60 meters. Okay, they're talking about the height of the prism here. The unit vector I, J, and K are parallel to OA, OC, and OE respectively. The point N divides the length of the line DB. Okay, this whole thing into 4:1 part. This is 4 parts, this is 1 part. And M is the midpoint of DE. So M is dividing the whole of this, that which was 60 into 30, 30. Half of it. Okay, scalar product to find angle MAN. First of all, you have to find out the vector AM, and you have to find out AM, and then you have to find out AN. Okay, if I find out AM first, if I want to go from A to M, the path which I would like to take is this plus this plus this. Okay, so let's do it. It's going to be minus 77I plus 36J plus 36J plus 36K plus 30J. Okay, so you can write it as minus 77, 30 and 36. Okay, I component first, then the j component, and then the k component always. Okay, then I have to find out an. Okay, finding an, if you look at this, see, I don't have what is this vector. I don't have what is this. Okay, so what I can actually do is okay, what I will do is I will use similarity here. Okay, what I'm going to do here is now if this is one part and this whole thing is 5 parts. Okay, so if you want to that means this part is 1/5 of this whole length. So this is also going to be 1/5 of this whole length, because in similarity, since this triangle and this triangle, this whole big triangle BN this and BDC are similar to each other, the ratio of the corresponding sides will be proportional. So if this is 1 and this is 5, this will be 1 and this will be 5 parts. Okay, so if I want to find, if I know that this whole thing is 77, I can easily find out this first. Okay, so I'm going to write 1/5 equals to x upon 77, and x is going to give me this length. Okay, let's cross multiply. 5x equals to 77 and x equals to 77 divided by 5, which is 15.4. X is 15.4. So I know this length is 15.4. Now if I have to go up, because in order to go from B to N, I have to go like this and then go up. Now if I want to find this, and if I call this as y, so I will once again write 1/5 is going to be y upon 36, because the ratios is the same. So if this is 1, this is 5, and this is 1, this is 5, that means this is 1, this is 5. So 1/5 equals to y upon 36. Get the value of y first. 5y equals to 36. Y equals to 36 divided by 5, which is 7.2. Okay, so if I want to go now, since I had to go from A to N, I have already written 60j minus 15.4i plus 30 plus 7.2j. Okay, so I'm writing an as 60j minus x is 15.4i, and then I have to go up, okay, in the k direction, and I have to go up 7.2, so 7.2k. Okay, so I can write it in the form of vector like this. An is going to be 15.4 negative 60 and 7.2. Okay, this is the vector which I have now. Okay, I have to find out the angle between them. Okay, so let's do that. Cos of theta equals to am dot an divided by the product of the magnitude of am and an. Cos of theta is equals to, if I multiply the two vectors, minus 77 by minus 15.4, plus 30 times 60 plus 36 times 7.2, divided by the magnitude of the first one, 77 square plus 30 square plus 36 square, and the magnitude of the second one, 15.4 square plus 60 square plus 7.2 square. Okay, let's solve this. 77 times 15.4 plus 1800 plus 36 times 7.2. So the numerator which I am getting is 3245 divided by the magnitude square root of 77 square plus 30 square plus 36 square. This is coming out to be the 90.138. Okay, multiplied by the magnitude of this 15.4 square plus 60 square plus 7.2 square, which is 3889. Square root of 3889 is 62.36. Okay, multiplied by 90.38. Okay, I'm getting cos of theta is equal to 0.577. Cos inverse of the answer is giving me 54.7. So the angle between them is 54.7. This brings us to the end of the video. Thanks a lot for watching it. Hope you've learned something.